Good morning, sir. Good morning, classmate. Good morning, everyone. My topic is about formal and informal leaders. By the way, I am Seti K. Hambo. First thing, let's define what it means to be a leader. It's a term that gets bundled about a lot, but it does have an official meaning. A leader is anyone who directs a group. This individual exists in every single group, even groups that are supposed to be cooperative. The best leaders knows how to work with the unique type of group that they are leading. There are two types of leader, the formal leader and the informal leader. What is a formal leader? An individual who is recognized by those outside the group as the official leader of the group. They are the one who is appointed or sanctioned by an organization to the rule of leadership. Formal leaders are given leadership based on their position with the group. They are actually assigned to be leaders as part of their role in the group. Example of formal leaders would be the teacher in a classroom or the manager within a company. The formal leader has a job to organize and direct group members to meet the goals of the organization or team. Formal leaders are often the best leader in a company, but that's not always the case. What is an informal leader? An individual whom members of the group acknowledge as their leader. They are the one who may or may not function as a leader by outside the organization. The ability for an informal leader is to influence or lead others rests on the ability of that person to evoke respect, confidence, and trust in others. And if it is not uncommon for an informal leader to not intentionally try to lead. In contrast to the formal leader, the informal leader is someone who does not have the official authority to direct the group. Despite this, the group chooses to follow the lead of this person. For example, the class clown may be someone that the student in the class take cues from even though the teacher is the official leader of the classroom. The informal leader may arise because he is charismatic and outgoing so that people want to listen to him, because she is easy to talk to, or because she exhibits certain knowledge and ideas that seem useful to the group. He may specifically choose to take on leadership role, or this may just naturally happen. To this. As part of the dynamic of the group, the informal leader can be the best leader in the group because of the fact that the group has naturally chosen him or her. Understanding the differences. Formal leaders have authority and certain rights that informal leaders lack. The formal leader wields power over the group and has authority to discipline and punish errant members. Informal leader, on the other hand, thus can't formally take action against any members of the group, nor is he able to reward his teammate. The difference between a formal and informal leader goes well beyond just the fact that the formal leader has been given official authority to lead the group. We can see this when we look at the teacher or the class clown example. After all, The goals of the class clown are in direct competition with the goals of the teacher. It is important for formal leaders and informal leaders to figure out a way to work together if a group is going to truly have solid leadership. Creating a positive balance between informal and formal leaders begins with an understanding of their different roles. Formal leaders direct individuals in meeting the goals of the company, organization, or team. Informal leaders may or may not do this any as they tend to follow their own agenda. In the case of the teacher and class clown, the teacher is encouraged the group to follow the rules of the school, whereas the class clown is encouraging the kids to have fun. They are each the best leader in their respective areas. Conflict and cooperation. A group with both formal and informal leaders is likely to see conflicts between the two if they don't share the same vision. The group has different loyalties to the two leaders. In any situation, it's important for the formal and informal leaders to work together to make sure that the group achieves optimum results. Groups that are experiencing any kind of conflict between the formal and informal leaders should consider this issue of loyalty carefully. If the formal leader can gain the trust of the informal leader, then the goals of both the group and the organization can be aligned. We see this happen in sports team, where the goal of both the team and the team leader is to win games. An informal team leader should consider this issue of loyalty carefully. An informal team leader would have the same primary goal. The fact that everyone wants the same thing tends to lead to success. The issue of loyalty. The formal leader's loyalty is to the organization or team. The teacher's is to the school, whereas the informal leaders is generally to the group itself. The formal leader may be self-involved but needs to be pleased the group to become a leader. As a result, of this, the loyalty of the group tends to be with the informal leader rather than with the formal leader, even though the formal leader may be able to issue consequences or provide rewards that the informal leader cannot. What if you don't want to be a leader? Some people find that they are frequently in the role of leader never they never apply for official leadership position. These people tend to be smart, charismatic, and likable people who are empathetic enough to relate to big groups. If you find yourself in this position, consider these things. Being chosen as a leader is a positive thing. It means that you are a strong character with a group and that people like you. You may not want the burden or responsibility, but it's really an honor. You aren't obliged to play this role. Don't let a group pressure you into any activities or choices you don't want to make. They may see you as the best leader for the group, but that doesn't mean that you have to do anything special in your role as an informal leader. Working with the formal leader will make your role simpler. There will be less conflict within the group and less pressure on you in terms of the group demands and needs. You may want to give paid for your role. Why is that you are not applying for leadership roles if you're constantly being seen as a leader? Think carefully about this. It usually has to do with either self-esteem issues or problems with being an authority figure. You might want to rethink your position and get paid for your work. Conversely, if you want to be a leader but never get chosen as one, then start figuring out who the informal leaders are in your groups and figure out how to take cues from that about becoming one yourself. That's all. Thank you. Thank you for listening.